Developing this morning in New York City, search crews continue searching through the rubble for missing people.
Yeah, gas leak triggered a huge blast yesterday. At least 6 people are dead. CBS correspondent Marley Hall has the latest.
With bright lights to show the way, rescue workers worked through the night searching for missing people in the rubble of 2 buildings that collapsed after an explosion in East Harlem. Overnight crews pulled more bodies out of the rubble. The victims are being identified. One is 44-year-old Griselda Camacho, a single mom to a teenage boy and a security officer at Hunter College. Another, 67-year-old Carmen Tanco, a dental hygienist who had Wednesdays off. Relatives were hopeful until the last minute.
My family's been trying to call her all day long, just hoping that, maybe she's in the neighborhood doing something.
People in this neighborhood say they had complained of an unbearable gas smell for weeks. Utility crews were on their way to investigate when the explosion occurred.
Come on, let's go help, man.
Cell phone video shows the chaotic moments immediately after a gas leak triggered Wednesday morning's blast. Huge flames leapt into the sky.
It sounded like a bomb.
This Google image shows what the 2 5-story buildings looked like before. This is what's left. Marley Hall, CBS News, New York.
The National Transportation Safety Board is investigating the blast. Now, besides transportation issues, that agency is also responsible for investigating pipeline incidents. Elizabeth?
WIP workers could go underground as early as this weekend to investigate the cause of that Valentine's Day radiation leak. DOE officials say the timeline depends on how well the workers' training and preparation goes. 650 WIP employees will be used for the investigation, cleanup, and remediation efforts. Environmental sampling around the plant is ongoing to ensure that there is no public safety risk. The BLM just okayed the mining of more than 9 million tons of coal in western New Mexico. The Bureau of Land Management issued a lease for 640 acres to Peabody Natural Resources Company. Now, the lease is for $2.3 million for the land adjacent to the El Segundo mine in McKinley County. In an appeal, the BLM weighed the environmental effects and determined that there be no significant impact. The mine employs 340 workers, producing 8 million tons of coal annually. It fuels utilities in New Mexico and eastern Arizona. On the other side of the state, there's renewed concern about a proposed transmission line intended to improve the nation's power grid and reduce the use of fossil fuel. SunZia wants to build the 500 mine line in an area used for flight training by Holloman Air Force Base and weapons testing at White Sands Missile Range. But a recent study shows electromagnetic interference could affect some missile guidance systems if they're too close. Congressman Steve Pierce is recommending the transmission line be moved north or buried underground.
Well, it looks like a longtime judge in Albuquerque who lost his job after being arrested on rape charges may be off the hook. Santa Fe District Attorney Angela Spence Pacheco tells News 13 there is not enough evidence to prosecute Pat Murdaugh. APD arrested Mr. Murdaugh back in 2011 after a prostitute claimed she secretly recorded the former judge forcing her to receive oral sex. Pacheco dropped rape and witness intimidation charges a month later to give APD more time to build a case. Murdaugh's attorney says his client is vindicated by the DA's decision.
We knew that the prosecutors did not have a case they could pursue in good faith.
Pat Murdaugh served for 26 years as a district court judge and was a chief criminal judge when he was arrested. In response, a spokesperson for the city says APD stands behind its case. Well, cops in Roswell got their man. This is what it looked like late Monday night after 2 new police cruisers crashed while they were chasing a suspected drunk driver who drove off during a traffic stop, dragging a police officer 30 feet with him. Word this morning, police arrested Ryan Rudolph, who's from Odessa, Texas, in Texas after a multi-state search. The officer who was dragged was not seriously hurt.
On Tuesday morning, the first baby ever born at the Metro Detention Center came 4 months early and then died less than 12 hours later. Officials say the mother was addicted to opiates and that the medical staff did the best they could with the premature birth. Now some are questioning whether a pregnant addict would have been better served in a residential treatment facility. According to today's Journal, the MDC chief says that there are currently no plans to change any existing medical protocol. Albuquerque police gets grilled in day 3 in the civil lawsuit over the shooting death of Christopher Torres. He is the mentally ill man killed by 2 plainclothes cops in his backyard. The lead detective in the case testified she did not interview the APD officer who pulled the trigger until the day after the shooting. In 2011, the cops went into Torres' backyard to arrest him in a road rage case. One of them shot Torres 3 times during a struggle. Detective Paige Lavilla admitted she failed to interview the only witness, the next-door neighbor, who saw part of the struggle over her fence.
There was a 911 call you now know by the backyard neighbor, Christy Apodaca.
Yes.
She was never interviewed by APD, was she?
Correct.
And is it your job to contact her
Yes.
as part of your investigation?
Yes.
The city will start calling its witness today. The judge could rule in the case as early as tomorrow. We'll keep you posted.
Well, police have a new tool to track down your car if it is ever stolen. Some departments are now using the LoJack system. It's a stolen vehicle tracking system. It's installed in state police, Santa Fe police, and APD cruisers. It's also in some of the cops' helicopters and planes. When a car with LoJack technology is ripped off, the cops can track it in real time.
It's this sea of vehicles and aircraft that are constantly listening for a LoJack device to go off. And that's what's unique about the system, is that a patrol officer can be in their normal routine and they can get a hit on the LoJack system.
The equipment was installed in police cars at no cost to taxpayers. In the next few days, or in the few days it's been in use, it's already helped police recover 4 cars and trucks. LoJack Company is in talks with other police agencies around the state. A number of dealerships here in Albuquerque and in the state now offer to install it. Well, if you need legal advice in the metro area, you can get it for free this afternoon at Lollapalooza. Usually these are huge convention center type events, but this year, or right now, this one's going to be smaller to reach a wider range of people. 40 volunteer lawyers will offer advice on divorce, immigration, debt issues, and more, all at the Herman Sanchez Community Center at 1830 William Street Southeast. That is going on from 3 to 6 today.